If you were Kyle Dubas and a team came to you and said about either Malkin or Letang, hey, we really want this guy, and we are prepared to make you a very competitive offer, early round picks, whatever it might be, just an objectively good offer, what are you saying to them if that happens today, November 13th?
Like, obviously, I feel like I've always been close with those guys. I got a soft heart for those guys because I won a championship with those guys. I know how much they mean to the city, to the team, how special of a player. But on the outside, on the business standpoint, you got to make that move.
If one of those guys says, by the way, just to build on that, Tyler, if one of those guys says, or both of them in that hypothetical would say, hey, I'm willing to at least explore this. It's got to be the right team. But
it sounds like Yoey thinks Letang might prefer that, Tyler. They could actually go to him about the no movement clause, and he might say, okay, I'm down.
I'd almost think they would want to do those guys a favor if they got a sense that they wanted to be moved, if Letang wanted to be moved.
So there's two things how I think of it. When you think of, say, Kris Letang, I think the hardest thing for a player of any sport is when they pick someone up to take your spot or to eat up your minutes. I think as much as Tanger's really been professional about it, that's got to hurt him a little bit inside. That's got to affect him a little bit, and when they were playing the Islanders and I saw Carlson on the power play in overtime for the full 2 minutes, and Kris Letang was sitting on the bench. And I know how Tanger is. That's going to drive him nuts. Mm-hmm. That's no matter who you are. Guys, I just won 3 cups, and this guy who hasn't won anything is taking my job. You tell me if that's right. But.
And also, I was going to say, how about the way Carlson's talking about himself? I'm playing great. What are we doing here, Tyler? What's that all about? Patting himself on the ass. That would drive me crazy. You want to talk about drive me nuts? How about that?
Well, especially guys, I feel like I've been here a long time in Pittsburgh, and I feel like the people of Pittsburgh appreciate guys that work hard and hold themselves accountable. And when he says that, you want to turn people against you, say what you just said. He should have just said, no, I got to be better. I got to work through it. It just seemed like I played okay. And it's dude.
First of all, you're not.
You're not. You're not, and you're getting paid the most on the team. You can't be average. That's why guys with big paychecks get big paychecks, because when the pressure's on to perform over periods of time, they do. And again, look at as much as Kris Letang's been up and down. He's put on so many great stretches of years where he's been unbelievable and be the rock back there. And and for them to be is it okay to get moved? If a GM came to me and I was Kris Letang or Malkin, they're like, hey, would you waive it? Right off the bat, I'd be like, yeah, waive it. You don't want me here? I'm out of here. Just, I would be like, just send me somewhere with a palm tree and I'm good, boys. But, that's how I think. And those guys are obviously different. But when a GM approaches you about talking about your contract and your no waive, right away you've lost a player, because they're trying to trade you.
Great point.
That right away, so you got to really that's a
delicate
situation. If you're the GM, you've got to make up your mind, right, Tyler? Before you even go to the player, you've got to make up your mind and know that that's what's going to happen.
You almost have to have someone lined up.
You almost have to have a trade done.
Lined up.
Pretty much, I agree with that.
Especially with those two guys. Just think if they went and did that to Malkin. If you think he's turning pucks over right now, he would be a beauty out there. But that's the game, that's the business. That's the hard part of the business. It's what have you done for me lately? And I played here for 6 years. I won a cup. And when Ray Shero said, we're trading you, I was it hurts your heart, because you bleed for the team. And I can just imagine those two guys with what they've done. Gino's got a pretty much a fake knee on him, but they've did everything and they've won. And but that's part of the game. You can't just hang on to the guys when you're losing how you are. And that's business. At the end of the day, an NHL, an NFL team, that's a business. They're running a business to win. They're not running to make friends or to keep people happy. They're there to win hockey games and fill the seats and grow the game.